welcome back to the Groomsman. I'll be your host, Jonathan. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been doing the straight razor thing for a minute. Just taking a step back from that today. I'm going to go back to a DE razor. For soap, we'll be using Seaforth Fleur DE France. I heard somewhere they just discontinued this. I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not. I saw on like a Facebook post, somebody was saying they were sad that it got discontinued. I meant to go look up and see if that was true. I don't think they were lying, but I hadn't gone and actually looked it up or not. That would be sad. This is a really good scent. Really, really nice. Obviously, a lot of the Seaforth scents are based off of the old Seaforth brand, but they modernize them a lot, so they're not like a one-for-one remake. Or at least not all of them are. This one is not. His webpage is like a blog where he talks about where he went into with the scent creations and stuff, but I'd say very modernized, very, very nice. Very much a herbaceous scent. It's got geranium, citron, rosemary, coumarin, oak moss, and white musk. It's got very much like that white musk and that oak moss in the base. It's kind of like a creamy, musky kind of a base, but it's got very much of a herbaceous top with that coumarin and the rosemary. It's really good stuff. I really like it. I do kind of wish I picked up the EDT. I did not. I kind of was one of those ones I meant to get around to getting the EDT for, because I think it would smell great, but never got around to doing it. But I got it all lathered up here. The soap lathers up great. Seaforth makes a marvelous base. Like, if you can tell, like the shine on that soap is just wonderful. This is a 30mm tip knot and a Mozingo brush, black ebonite. It does make a ton of soap. I didn't think I used that much soap in my bowl, but I ended up with a ton of lather. Honestly, I haven't shaved in like 4 days. I had a nice long weekend, like 3-day weekend. Hanging out with the kids. Had an impromptu date night with my wife. She's actually supposed to go have a girls' night out. And I was gonna watch the kids and everything, and then it got canceled last minute, and she'd gotten all dolled up for it. And then I called her and told her they weren't coming. So we decided we'd go out anyways. We took the kids, or our 2 younger kids, and dropped them off at daycare. If I could drop in daycare in this town, so it works out pretty well every once in a while. Went out and had a dinner. It was nice. Been doing the straight razor thing for a hot minute. I'm not done with straights per se. I'm taking a step back a little bit. I'm going to send a couple out to Glenn. I keep talking about that. It's going to happen. I'm just not, in a big hurry to do anything at the moment. I'm going to send some stuff out to Glenn, probably 2 razors, and have him put an edge on there so I can get a good baseline for how they're supposed to feel. I did try some honing and stuff over the last couple weeks. I got a set of ceramic honing stones. Shapton. There was 4 of them. It was a really good deal. But up through 12K, it was like, I don't remember what it was. 3, 5, 8, and 12, something to that effect. Anyways, for the razor today, the Alysworth Kopparkant, I don't know, brass version. Obviously they have a stainless steel version. It's got a different name. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I like the brass version. A little bit cheaper than stainless steel. I dig the design on the handle. This comes in like a matte kind of a brass finish, like a bead blasted. I'm getting a little patina on the top there for my little water driplets and stuff. I thought about trying to do a forced patina on it, because I saw someone else do that with like I can't remember what razor it was, some brass razor, and it looked really cool. I thought about doing a forced patina, but I'm pretty sure I'd mess it up, so I'm just gonna let it go. I got a new first use Schick DE. There it is. Schick DEs, made in Germany. I think they're primarily marketed down in South America. No, South Africa. But you can get them from the razor company. I mean, it's hard to tell where my sideburns were stopped. We're gonna go up high. I've been keeping not much sideburns in here. So I got the plus plate on here. I forgot to say that. So the Kopparkant and the Alysworth razors, the main 2. I have a 3rd one now I haven't used. But the main two, this one and the stainless steel version, which have the same geometry. They have the regular base plate, which has a neutral exposure. And then they have the plus plate, which has a positive exposure, but not super positive. Just, you know, some. I like, so I got the plus. I had the original, I really like the original, I still use it. But I got the plus when that came out, the base plate, just to try out, because I was curious about it. I like having a little bit of blade feel, but not too much, and that's kind of where this one lands. It's very comfortable to use with this new blade. Rinse is really easy. I don't have any issues with clogging with this one. There's not like a huge blade gap. But I like it's got like a nice thin profile head. I kind of got this right after I got the Overlander. The original plate and the Overlander are kind of similar, but you can see that it's got this rounded head versus this like kind of thinner profile. I really dig the thinner profile head. Although I still like the Overlander, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick this one over the Overlander. I did have some pre-shave on there. I don't think I said anything. I thought it just occurred because my elbow hit the bottle and almost knocked it off the counter. But it's Badger pre-shave. There's a local place I can buy this from. You can get it online, like Amazon and stuff too. But a little Whole Foods green grocer. I always forget what it's called, and Adam always makes fun of me for calling it a green grocer. But it's, you know what I'm talking about. It's a green grocer. All organic foods and stuff. I've been there a couple of times. They have some shaving stuff over there. Funny enough, I would expect a place like that to have safety razors. You know, it's disposable, or it's not, you know, there's no plastics, no metal, wasteful materials. You can recycle the blades and all that stuff. So I would expect them to have even like a cheap kind of DE or DE blades, because, you know, that kind of community, the whole, you know, not wasteful and everything. And I was shocked that they did not. They have some shaving soaps and stuff like that. This company makes a shaving soap, like a hard puck. I didn't like it. That didn't lather well. But there's some other stuff in there too. But and they had a couple cheap brushes. Like some really, really cheap synthetics, like bottom of the barrel kind of. They look really, really cheaply made synthetics, and they were like really overpriced. Oh, like $20 for like this really, really cheap synthetic. You can get a much better one online for like $10. But they did have them. And but the only razors they had were cartridge razors. There was one that was made out of like, it was a wood handle or something. But it was still a cartridge. That was kind of surprising. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had like leaves and twigs in there. But they did not. Very smooth, very comfortable, even with the 4 days growth. Really nice. Adding some more water to the face between passes. It's 30 millimeter knot. It's pretty big. It's funny. I have a couple 30 mil knots, and they all feel different. This Paladin is a 30 millimeter, and it feels half the size of this one. Like this one feels huge. And when you splay it, it's like my whole face. But it does a really good job letting the lather out. I did set this myself. I won the handle and the knot on a raffle back in the day, but I set it myself with just some silicone. I put a spacer underneath. I can't remember how many or how high I put the spacers, but it's nice. Across the grain. I think my sideburns are uneven. Ah, well, I'll fix that later. Thinking about growing a new beard-ish. Fayez was talking about it the other day, and he showed this picture, and it was actually one that I had been looking at for a while, style. And it's kind of like this, you know, chin style, but it comes back along your jawline to like the bottom of your ear, and then, you know, underneath. So it's not, there's no sideburns, no cheeks, neck is shaved. I can't remember what it's called. Balbo? I don't know. It looked cool. I'm debating. A little bit more of a beard, still get to shave. That Adam's apple, if you guys ever... The way I do it is I just kind of pull my skin to this side, and I can get along my Adam's apple. And then I do the same thing on the other side. I'm not going directly over it. But you have like scarring right there. It's not from cutting myself, it's from ingrown hairs actually. I used to get a lot of irritation from using cartridge razors back in the day when I was in the service and I had to shave every day. Before I switched to DEs, and I'd always get my hair right here. It's kind of growing down, and then it switches up, and then it switches this way. So this like little line right here is a conflict of like all the different hair growths in like 10 different directions. And I think as a result, it ended up getting, was more prone to getting ingrown hairs right there. And then as a result of the ingrown hairs, irritation, trying to take them out, end up getting some scarring right there. It's not horrible, but it's very comfortable. I'm glad I picked this razor. I decided I want to do a DE shave like a couple days ago, but I was like, oh, I don't know which one I'm going to pick. I've done a lot of stuff recently about the Rockwell 6S. I was like, maybe I'll revisit that. I didn't really want to. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just not, you know, my favorite razor. Marvelous pass. So, how's that weather? I know, what a weird topic, right? How's the weather? It's been weird here, though. I'm up in North Dakota, and I think we just had like the warmest summer on record for like ever, maybe. I know we had the warmest January since. Well, I know. So getting down into the winter, starting our winter didn't get below 0 until really late December, I think, and it set a record. It hadn't been. It was like the latest start to winter since like 1938 or something. And then it's the first week of February and all of the snow is already melting. Normally the January and February are by far the coldest months of the year. That's statistically right, the middle of winter. December, January, February. January is the worst. February is not great. And January was actually really nice. We spent a large majority of the month above freezing. And not just like above like 32, like not even above zero. So all the ice melted, the streets are nice. Most of the ice and snow are melted off of the yard. It's crazy. Like the weirdest winter I've seen since I've been up here. And it's been a while. I've been working here 3, 4, 7 years. Been living up here. I was retired from the surface up here and then had work, so I just kept on. I'm curious if it's gonna stay. Now all the big jokes are we're gonna get like a really bad February or March. It's gonna snow a lot. It's gonna be like that wet, heavy, sleety snow. But it's like impossible to predict nowadays. The forecasts are all good. And where we're going, I don't know, another month I'll be out fishing. All the lakes will be opened up. I know people have been pulling all their ice houses off and everything. All the ice is melting on the lakes. I have not gone ice fishing yet. One day I'll do it. I keep saying that. Maybe next winter I'll do that. I'm gonna go rent an ice house. Well, I forgot which way I was going, huh? I always do that when I get to the second cheek. Still smooth. Plenty of residual thickness with this soap. And that was a good shave. This is a good razor. 10 for 10, I recommend. It's got that neutral exposure on the original blade if you want something a little more mild. Got that plus plate if you want a little more blade feel, but it's not like, it's not too much blade feel, it's not too aggressive feeling. It's just enough to like feel the blade and assure yourself that it's working. Great shave. I'm gonna do a cold water rinse and then I'll be right back for splash. Alright, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. Clean up that nice cold water rinse. Line up that sideburn a little better. I think they're even more or less. Close enough anyways. Straighten up this just a little bit on the edging. Came out really good. The cold water splash was fantastic. It's really cold this time of year. Matching splash, Seaforth, Fleur DE France. This one's an alcohol-based splash. Not all of their splashes were alcohol. I think the first couple that came out with like Seaforth spiced and I think maybe sea lime. Those were witch hazel based. Well, this does have witch hazel in it. It's alcohol, water, obviously witch hazel, fragrance, aloe, polysorbate 20, and vegetable glycerin. But when he came out with this one, I think he said in the blog that he was having issues with the fragrance working well with the witch hazel based splash. So then he switched to an alcohol for this one, and then I think also for Black Watch, which came after this. Just a little bit of stinging right there. That's pretty nice though. So they're not all alcohol-based splash. If you have a big preference one way or the other, make sure you're checking the description if you buy something from Seaforth, because they're not all the same. His bases are not all the same. I'm pretty sure for Seaforth, he changed the base specifically for this soap. And I think it's different for the ones after it as well. So he's got a couple different bases going, but it's not like a tier thing where you can get it in like the medium base and the high tier base or anything like that. It was just, he made a different base for this one particular soap because this is what he wanted to do. I dig it. The base is really nice. I like their Seaforth bases in general. I've got a couple of his experimental bases. I got them in a mystery box from IMCDB back in the day, but I guess Seaforth will do, when they were testing new bases and stuff, he'll do like one-off batches to test the base itself, and so he'll just add some fragrance in there. I have one that's lavender and vanilla, and one that's green iris tweed, I think. And they're both different versions of that experimental base, but they're both fantastic bases. I kind of wish they'd kept them around. The scents are really nice too. I don't always like the green iris tweed scent, but I did in the one that Seaforth used. Anyways, I'll quit rambling. The shave was really good. I highly recommend the Kopparkant by Alysworth. I think it's a fantastic razor in the brass version. It's a pretty good deal too with the brass over the stainless steel if you are looking to save a little bit there. I think it just looks nice. The bead blasted finish is pretty good. I did get the little stand. I got it when it first came out. They had like a pre-order sale, so it was, I don't remember, so much percentage off if you buy it pre-order, and I was already interested in it anyway, so I jumped on that and got the deal. But that was a shave. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed coming back for a DE shave and getting out of that straight business for a minute, but I'll be back on that eventually at some point. But in the interim, well, I'm glad to be back, and I look forward to seeing you guys here next time.